Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary for Wednesday, February the 27th. I'm Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram, founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It is game day. The Vancouver Canucks in Denver to take on the Colorado Avalanche. Canucks have beaten Colorado twice already this season, 7-6 in Vancouver in November, that very memorable game for Boeser and Pettersson, and then 5-1 in early February coming out of the All-Star break, and that was in Denver. In fact, Vancouver has won the 5 of the last 6 games they've played in Colorado, so they're doing well there, and a good chance to keep their slim but not dead playoff chances alive. This is one of those proverbial 4-point games. The Canucks are chasing the Avalanche in the standings. Colorado's 4 points up, but the Canucks are chasing everyone in the standings, basically. Colorado, Chicago, Arizona, Dallas, Minnesota, all 5 of those teams along with Vancouver. So 6 teams fighting for the final 2 wild card spots. So that's what we got tonight. And what we have is Tanner Pearson making his debut for the Canucks after being traded for Erik Gudbranson. Pearson coming over from Pittsburgh, of course, and I'll talk about him in a sec. So this is how the lines look for today, and these lines look like this because A, Pearson's going to play with Pettersson and Boeser, which I'll get to, and B, Goudobin drops down the third line to play with Granlund, who's in the middle because Adam Gaudette is sick. Gaudette did not fly with the team to Colorado yesterday. He's hoping to join the team in Arizona tomorrow for their game tomorrow night against the Coyotes. But for tonight, Gaudette's out, and that's why I guess it's good that you have a guy like Granlund who can play center because Sutter's out, as we know as well. So this is how the lines look. It's Horvat, Leivo, and Spooner. Then Pettersson, Boeser, and Pearson. Third line now, Granlund between Roussel and Goudobin. And the fourth line, that very expensive yet effective fourth line of Beagle, Eriksson, and Mott. Let's talk about those 4 lines real quick. Actually, let's do the rest of the lineup, then we'll go back to the forward lines. And then that means Tim Schaller's the extra man on the outside, looking in once again up front. On D, you have Hutton and Stetcher. You have Sautner playing with Schenn. I was very impressed by them, actually, on Monday night against Anaheim. And then our high-risk, high-reward, mostly high-risk pairing of Biega and Pouliot. Edler practicing, but not going to play tonight. Also, Breezeball called up from Utica, was Edler's playing partner in practice, but won't be playing tonight. Jacob Markstrom starts in net. Demko backing up. Look for Demko to start tomorrow, but I'm sure we'll hear about that later on. Let's get through tonight first. Okay, let's talk about these forwards, and then I'll end off by talking about Tanner Pearson. The first line listed Horvat with Leivo and Spooner. They had a really good game on Monday night against Anaheim. Horvat with 2 goals, Leivo with an assist, Spooner with an assist. I like the mix of that line, actually. Horvat obviously drives all the play as a bull, as we like to say. Good around the net, of course. Decent shot. Leivo's got heavy hands, a heavy shot. Not heavy hands. Good hands, a heavy shot. And he can retrieve pucks from the corners and stuff. Big body. He's good. And Spooner, I was actually impressed by his speed. His best game of the 3 so far as a Canuck. Had a couple of chances, breaks to the net. So that was the first line or top line or the first line listed. Then we have Pettersson and Boeser. We know about them. They both, Pettersson 2-point night on Monday night, 2 assists, Boeser with an assist. And then, of course, Tanner Pearson. What a opportunity for him. And I'll get to him at the very end of this video. So Pearson plays with Pettersson and Boeser. Then on our third line, we have Granlund, who goes in the middle for Gaudette. Roussel, of course. And Nikolai Goudobin, who had a very strong game, actually, with Pettersson and Boeser, but it sounds like they want to give Pearson a chance with those guys. So Goudobin on the third line. And then our fourth line, our sturdy line of Beagle, Eriksson, and Mott. Let's talk about Tanner Pearson. There's a lot of people worried, or I think they're kind of underestimating the player that he is. And maybe it's because he's had poor stats this year, right? He barely did anything in LA before he got traded to Pittsburgh for Carl Hagelin, and he barely did anything in Pittsburgh. LA is a bad team, though, so hardly anyone was doing anything. And although that's where Pearson's, of course, early success came with the 70s line with Carter and Toffoli. And then in Pittsburgh, yes, he got a chance to play with guys like Malkin, and it didn't work out for whatever reason. But Pearson, he should look at this as a fresh start. He's going to, like many new Canucks acquisitions do, he's going to get a chance right away to play with some really good players. And tonight he's playing with our 2 best, arguably our 2 best, most talented players in Pettersson and Boeser. So a chance to make an immediate impact. And I have high hopes. See what I did there? I have high hopes for Pearson. And not just because I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, because I'm optimistic by nature. But he's only 1 season removed. It was only last season that he had 40 points for the Kings. It's not like that was 5 years ago. It was just last season. Yes, he had a bad start this year for both LA and Pittsburgh, the 2 teams he's played for already this season. But he had 40 points last year. The year before that, he had 44. And the year before that, he had 36. So he's averaged 40 points over the past 3 seasons. So I don't think he's that far off. I hope he's not that far off. I guess we'll see tonight. You know, he's a big body, 6'1", 201 pounds is what he's listed at. So obviously he already becomes one of the heaviest forwards, not necessarily the tallest forwards, but that's a big body. You know, most of our guys are 180, 190, 195. So at 201, that's a big body. And maybe that's what Pettersson and Boeser need. Although they played very well with Khudobin, a very small body and very skilled guy. Pearson has skill, but he's got some size and some grit as well. So maybe that will be a nice complement to that line. And remember, Tanner Pearson is a first-round draft pick, 2012 by the LA Kings. Yes, he was 30th overall, so right at the very end of that first round because the Kings won the Stanley Cup earlier that spring. But still, you know, obviously a very, very good player, highly touted coming out. And he got into the Kings lineup 2 years after he got drafted. And again, he averaged 40 points, 36, 44, and then 40 in his 3 full seasons with the Kings before this year. So I have high hopes for him. I hope he can play well. We'll see what kind of chemistry he establishes with Pettersson and Boeser right away. I think much like most guys have played with them, because Pettersson's so smart and because he sees the ice so well, in essence, Pearson's got to dig out pucks, get to the net, make himself open, have his 2 hands on a stick, have his stick on the ice, and be ready for anything really when it comes to, especially coming to Pettersson. I don't know if you guys noticed, Boeser, his passing is pretty good, a little bit inconsistent sometimes, and Boeser passes the puck as hard as he likes to shoot it sometimes. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm surprised sticks don't explode when people are trying to receive his pass. I think he's got like one speed for all of his shots and his passes, and it's just really hard, if that makes sense. So something to keep an eye on, just something I've kind of noticed. But most importantly, it's the Canucks. It's in Colorado. 4-point game. Pearson making his debut with Pettersson and Boeser. Canucks fans, tell me what you think. Leave a comment below. I always read them. I always react to them. I don't always get a chance to reply, but please be assured that I do read your comments. So I appreciate you taking the time to type something up. Hopefully something intelligent. That wasn't an insult to anyone in particular, but I always pride myself on the intelligence of the commenters on my YouTube videos. So leave a comment below. I love to read, react, and reply. Tell me what you think about Pearson. Do you have high hopes for him? Do you think he's overrated, underrated? Are we being undersold on him? Are we being too hard on him? Are we not being optimistic enough? Or like, do you expect to see the Tanner Pearson of old, a 40-point guy? So, or do you buy into the struggles that he's had this season? Do you think they'll continue to perpetuate themselves with our team? You can talk about Pearson. You can talk about Granlund moving the middle. Talk about Khudobin's game. Pettersson, Boeser, Markstrom, whoever you want to talk about. I love to read your comments. So Canucks, Colorado. In Colorado, a bit of an earlier start. It's Wednesday night. It's my church night, so that means I'll catch the game, the second half of the game, at least the third period when I get home, and then I'll likely be asking you guys on Twitter if I should bother watching the rest of the game on the PVR. Obviously, if the Canucks win, I'm more apt to watch the entire game on replay. So, looking forward to that. Subscribe if you like this video if you like to. Vancouver, Colorado, big game tonight. Let's see how the Canucks do with Tanner Pearson making his debut. God bless, and go Canucks go.